What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So today we're going to be trying something new. So I'm going to be recording a YouTube video and also a podcast audio at the same time. My phone is recording my YouTube video. My iPad is getting the podcast audio, and I'm so excited. And today's topic is just going to be about what's been happening in my life recently. If you are watching this from my YouTube, you see my room. My room is not in the greatest condition, but I feel like it really reflects my inner feeling. I talked to my therapist yesterday, and I was kind of telling her about how I've been feeling some things I have not, been wanting to do. Like eating and taking a shower is so much of a task. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's become more of an inconvenience and something like I know I need to, but I really don't want to. And it really just becomes an afterthought. And she was telling me that, that is a sign of depression, which if I'm depressed, I would not be surprised. I feel like there have been things happening in my life that have been very hard for me to cycle through, and I'm trying to cycle through them. And I'm the kind of person that I like to deal with what is happening. You know what I'm saying? I like to deal with it. I'm not somebody that likes to cope, even though I still do cope. Retail therapy is my thing. You know what I'm saying? I will spend money, and it's not even just on clothes or shoes. It's just spending money. It's not being conscious of the fact that I need to be financially responsible, which is clearly not a good thing. I get it. I know it. And I'm cool with that. But it's like that I do kind of cope a little bit. But for the most part, I try to go through it. But I feel like it's been too much recently. Like it's been hard. And I have just been trying to take the time for myself, but it's hard because I don't really do much. What I do to keep me occupied is social media, but then social media is toxic. And it's not, let me retract. It's not that social media is toxic. It's that people on social media are toxic, which kind of makes it seem like social media is toxic, but social media is the neutral and people bring the toxicity to it, but it is what it is. And the reason I wanted to talk about this because it actually goes perfectly with what I plan to talk about anyways, which is the self. And when I talk about the self, I'm talking about self-love. I'm talking about, self-appreciation. I'm talking about everything involving yourself. And I am here to tell you to put yourself first. Damn, put yourself first. Please, please. You are in charge of you. You are responsible of you. And if you notice, that's going to be something that I say a lot because it's important. Putting yourself first is dire. It is crucial. It is necessary for your happiness. If you don't put yourself first, nobody's going to do it for you. You have to do that for yourself. Nobody is going to put you first. You may have people that they may put you first, but nobody needs to have you as their first. If they have you as their first, that's a problem. The only person people that should be putting you before them are your parents. And that's because they're obligated to you, and they're trying to help you get yourself together. But at a certain point, they're going to put themselves first too, because they're people and they have to put themselves first, and you have to put yourself first. That is just what that is. It just is what it is. And I feel like sometimes we will neglect ourselves to just be there for other people. We will just completely leave ourselves in the dust because we want to prioritize other people. But a lot of times people like that, when we do shit like that, we end up getting our damn feelings hurt. Okay, we end up getting hurt. We end up going through the damn motions. It never really comes at an advantage to us, because even though we have good intention and we want to be there for people and we want to show people we love and care about them, and we're willing to show them that subconsciously or consciously by putting ourselves, behind them, that is not going to benefit you. It's not. Because you want to know something? Being disappointed by somebody that you put before yourself is the shittiest feeling that anybody could ever feel. And I mean, it's shitty. It's horrible. It's one thing to disappoint yourself, and some people will still beat themselves up over that, or they won't really care because they feel, well, I'm just disappointing me. That's fine. I'm myself. But when they get disappointed by somebody they put before themselves, I swear it feels like hell has just frosted over. It is a horrible feeling. And I know because I've experienced that feeling multiple times, which is why I'm telling you, put yourself first. Put yourself first. Get to know yourself. And once you get to know yourself, you know who to love, because you're going to know who you are. And it's going to be uncomfortable because a lot of us, I think that we don't know ourselves. Rather, I think we're comfortable with the person who we are. And that doesn't mean that that's who we really are. It's just the person we've settled with. Do not settle. Don't settle with anybody else, and do not settle with yourself. And a lot of us settle with ourselves, and we really undermine ourselves. We undermine our thoughts. We undermine our worth. We undermine our value, and we undermine our power. And we will think of ourselves as less than. And that's why we prioritize people on top of us, because we don't see ourselves as enough. You have to see yourself as enough. You know what I'm saying? And because a lot of us don't see ourselves as enough, we will put things and people and a bunch of other shit before ourselves. And then we get disappointed, and then we get hurt, and we're cycling through this, and we're trying to heal that pain, and we're not healing it the right way. And you have to heal it the right way. And I just feel like we will not really acknowledge how much we hurt ourselves by putting ourselves behind things and people. I don't think we understand how much we hurt ourselves when we don't value ourselves, because a lot of us will say very, very harmful things. I've talked about this. I've talked about this in some of my other videos. I've talked about how we will disrespect ourselves. We will bully ourselves. We will talk down on ourselves. We will go off on ourselves. We will wake up and have no positive thought about ourselves. We will just be thinking so negatively about ourselves. And we think that it doesn't bother us because, you think, well, I'm the one that's doing it. I'm the only, person that I can bully myself. Like, I'm the only acceptable person to bully myself. But no, you are yourself. You know what I'm saying? And just like an example that I've used on my YouTube platform in one of my videos, you are the driver of your own car. If you swerve into the right and you swerve into the left and you stumping on the brakes and you stumping on the gas and you're crashing into people, if you were in your car and you were driving recklessly, clearly you're going to see the impact. And the thing is, I feel like a lot of people feel like if they don't see a direct impact, then it doesn't exist. So if you are in your car and you're on the freeway and you just swerve to the right in somebody else's lane and you hit their car, you see that you've caused an accident. But in our head, when we disrespect ourselves and when we have that power and that control to guide ourselves and we misdirect ourselves because we want to be on the bullshit, a lot of us will not validate that. A lot of us don't see it for what it really is. And we're hurting ourselves. We are having an emotional and a mental wreck. But it's a little easier for people to ignore that. You can't ignore something that's physically sitting in your face, but you sure can push it to the back of your damn mind when you're thinking about it. A lot of us, like I said, y'all will cope. Y'all will cope with many different things. And anything that you use to cope is not a good thing. And that could be and sometimes I know we've limited coping to, alcohol, to, substance abuse, to maybe sexual activity, high amounts of sexual activity. I know people have limited how people cope to things like that, but it's not limited to that. Unhealthy coping mechanisms are anything that you use to do so. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times it's so easy for us to just ignore it and to push it to the back of our minds, but stop doing that shit because you're not helping yourself. You're not helping yourself at all. And I feel like we need to prioritize ourselves, our mental health, our worth, our value. Learn who you are. Know who you are. You got to learn yourself. You need to take the proper amount of time to learn yourself. Like, quit letting people bulldoze you. Start telling people to go to hell. I just talked to my folks about this. I said, look, when y'all start cussing people out more, you will be happier. Tell them people go to hell. Screw them people. Do not give yourself up in a way where and here's the thing, I do want to say this. Now, relationships are not tit for tat, but you want to make sure that person gives a damn about you enough to prioritize you in their life. Not above them, but to prioritize you. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I do this for you, you do this for me. It's you're going to have my back because you care about me, not because I care about you. This isn't us playing, you give me this, I give you that, I give you this, you give me that. No, this is somebody doing something for you because they care about you. Because if things are tit for tat, they're really not genuine, because y'all are only doing things because the other person is doing it, and that's not genuine. You should want somebody to treat you in a good fashion and to do things for you because they want to, because they care about you, not because you're doing it for them. Because if we function like that, if the only reason you are doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G plus all the other things for me is because I'm doing it for you, that's a problem. That's a problem. You should want to do it because you want to and because you care. And so that's just how I feel. I stand on that. And I really encourage y'all, learn yourselves. Get to know yourselves. Date yourselves. Fall in love with you. Fall in love with you. We be putting in so much energy into these different bonds, into these different relationships, and we don't put half of that into learning ourselves and knowing ourselves and having a relationship with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are so on a rampage to be in a relationship and to have this bond work out with this person, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a bond with a family member. It doesn't matter who it is. The fact of the matter is we will prioritize those relationships, and we won't even give ourselves a quarter of that same energy because we don't feel like we are worthy of it. We don't feel like we deserve it. We don't feel like it's something that needs to happen. We don't feel like it's necessary, and it is. The relationship that you have with yourself is absolutely necessary. It is absolutely necessary. It is. And so take that time. And I'm going to tell y'all some things I'm going to do. And since we're into the new year, I'm not really a New Year's resolution kind of person, but I do have goals. And that's just, I was going to have them regardless. And I want to be, I want to be happy. I want to be stable. I want to be secure. And I want to have shit of my damn own. That's what the hell I want. I want to boss the hell up. That's what I want to do. If it doesn't happen this year, I don't care. What I want is progress. I'm not going to limit myself because everybody is at their own speed. Everybody moves at their own pace. So I'm not going to say I want to do this. I do want to do it, but what I want more for myself is to see the effort. I want to prove it to myself that I can develop and I can grow and then I can push forward and get shit done. That's what I want. And I really want y'all to take some time and ask yourself, what is it that I want for myself? What is it that I want for, my life? What do I want? It doesn't even have to just be for this year. What is it that you want? Figure out what you want and work towards that. And it can be about anything. It can be about you personally. It can be about your finances, your relationship, your family relationships. It doesn't matter. You figure that out for yourself. You determine that. Go sit your ass down. Have a conversation with yourself. Type the shit out. Write the shit out. I don't care what you do, but do something. Do something so that you can have that moment with yourself, so you can build toward what you want. Simple as that. So I just want to let y'all know I love y'all. I got y'all's back. And these conversations, they're going to keep happening because you want to know something? Sometimes we need to keep hearing it. The one thing that you're going to notice is a lot of the times I'm saying the same thing. Maybe in a different version, in a different way. I'm saying the same things over and over again because you want to know something? Sometimes we need to hear the same shit. The same way that we go through the same shit in life, and sometimes we not getting out of them cycles. You're going to have to hear the same thing until you get there. And still then it's never bad advice. You can always use it because we're going to always consistently and constantly elevate. It's always room to do better. It just always is. So I love y'all. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it on up. So just know that you got this. You got this. You have this. It is hard. I'm not claiming anything to be easy. It's hard. It's difficult. But we're going to we like to tussle. We like to fight. We want to rumble a little bit. Rumble with it. Rumble with it. And you're going to come out on top. And that's just that on period. Peace out, y'all.